Hello Stampers, it's Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. If this is the first time you're here, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button down below. And I know I haven't posted for a week, but I was kind of under the weather. Spent a few days in the hospital, but I'm going to be okay. Nothing major. I have Bell's palsy, but found out I had a couple other issues I need to take care of. So anyway, it's all good. And thank you for some of you that emailed me and reached out to me, and I appreciated that. So today we're going to make a cute little card using the stamp set Gnome for the Holidays. This is such a cute set. I just love it. It doesn't have any dies, but the images are easy to fussy cut. And that just means using scissors and cutting them out by hand. And we call that fussy cut. So we're going to use this image of this gnome right here for our card. And then the sentiment I'm actually going to use from another stamp set called Banner Year, which is kind of nice to combine some of your stamp sets and get double use out of them. What I like about this stamp set is that it has Thanksgiving and Christmas, Halloween, even like Valentine's Day. So there's a lot of different uses that you can use this stamp set for. And we're going to use Guess Who Loves You. Now, if you'll stay with me to the end, I'm going to make one card with you, but I'm going to show you another totally different card that I made for my son for his birthday. He loves the Kansas City Chiefs, so I used the colors of the football team to make his card, and so I kind of wanted to share that with you, because who knows, maybe there's some other Kansas City Chiefs fans out there too. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to bring in Night of Navy for our card base, and it is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and fold. And I don't think let me grab my bone folder. It is so good to get back in my craft room. I've really missed being on stamping with you and working in my craft room. So I'm going to lay this aside, and then using Balmy Blue for a layer, and then we'll need Night of Navy and a layer of Whisper White, and the dimensions will be down below in the description where it says show more. And then we need a scrap to stamp our image that we're going to cut out. And then we're going to use this embossing folder, Winter Snow. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take our Balmy Blue layer, and we're going to emboss. So I'm just going to put this right in here. I have used this Winter Snow. I just think it is gorgeous. I've used it so much. Let me grab our Stampin' Emboss machine, and let's see if I can get this so you can, there we go. Okay. So I have the sandwich. This is just a regular embossing folder, so this is just a regular embossing, so you just use plate 1, plate 3, and then your embossing folder, and you always have the hinged edge going through the machine first, and then 3. So 1, 3, 3. And let me lay this aside. Okay, isn't that pretty? Okay, now let's go ahead and do our stamping next. We're going to use Memento ink because I am going to use a few blends. And I already have our little gnome ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and ink him up. Now, I really wouldn't have to stamp. I'm going to cut him out, so I'm going to stamp him twice, but I'm going to stamp him on the card and then on the scratch paper. And then I will cover him up when I cut him out. So this is the one we're going to not need to color because we'll be covering him up. But now I need to stamp again on the scrap paper. Okay. Let's bring in our Guess Who Loves You. I'm going to go ahead and use the Memento Black for this too. And I'm going to stamp that right below our image. Okay, and I'll lay this aside. So the Memento Black is the only ink that we're using. I'm going to bring in our little gnome, and I have already had one colored, but I used Misty Moonlight. Of course, I could use Night of Navy, Light Crumb Cake, Petal Pink, and Daffodil Delight. So just going to real quick. So I used the Petal Pink kind of for his hands and his face. And then I just used the Daffodil Delight. I just went ahead and covered and colored his clothes. And even down here. And for his hat, I used the dark Misty Moonlight. And I just went over, kind of traced over the little snowflakes. And then Crumb Cake, I went ahead and, oh, that's not Crumb Cake. I think that is actually, this is Crumb Cake. The other is light gray granite, which I'm going to show you what we're going to do, but that's fine. And then I kind of covered over with the Crumb Cake on his socks a little bit. So what I did with the light gray granite, I went ahead and just kind of shaded in his mustache, and then just kind of put some color on his beard. You could also use Wink of Stella, and you could still use Wink of Stella in that also. It looks like his eyes are just, it's kind of hard, but his eyes are right above his nose. You'll see some, so I just kind of dabbed some petal pink on there. Okay, and then I went ahead and did the hat in the light Misty Moonlight, but I already have him finished and cut out, so we'll bring him in. I didn't go ahead and color his bell. You can, but I'm going to put an embellishment on that, so I didn't think that I needed to do that. Okay, let's bring our card base in. And I forgot, we do have a layer of Whisper White, 5 1/4 by 4 to layer inside the card. So we're going to put that on first. I forgot to show that to you. Okay, now we're going to add our Balmy Blue layer on the outside of our card base. Turn that. And get it even. The best I can. All right, and press down. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat, which I had laying out here. Are you like that? It seems like I've been out of my studio and kind of get back in the swing of things, but I'm so happy. And now I'm going to layer the Whisper White on here, and then I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to add dimensionals and pop him up on our card. Right now, we have some DSP, some Designer Series paper, that is 15% off. And it's selected, but there's 15, I believe, 15 or 16 different designer packages of Designer Series paper that will be on sale through the end of October. Goodness. Sorry, I think it's the bells and I can't talk very well. I hope you can understand me. All right, so now we're going to layer this in the middle of our card. And then we're going to take our little gnome, we're going to turn him over, and we're going to pop him up. So this is a really quick and easy, but I think it's a really cute card. If you like it, leave me a comment. And I'm going to bring in a small dimensional for the top. Okay, took the tops off, and then I'm going to place this right on top of our little image and bring in some holiday rhinestone basic jewels. Take your pick, and I'm going to use the blue, and we are going to put that right there at the top. Isn't that cute? Guess who loves you? You have a quick and simple card. I think it came out really cute. And you could add some Wicca you could add some other embellishments too if you want to. Exciting news. Thank you for those of you that signed up for the card class this month with the stamp set Have a Hoot for that with that bundle. They went out in the mail today, so that's awesome. So thank you very much. Okay, let me show you the other card. I told you if you stayed to the end, I would show that to you. And let me move this one. And let me know if you like this card. I know it's quick and easy. I think it turned out cute. Okay, so I made a 5x7 card for my son. Son, happy little bit late birthday. You know, that's what happens when you don't plan to feel kind of get under the weather, and then that's what happens. So I was a little bit slow getting this, but his birthday was just a couple days ago, so I'm going to mail it tomorrow, but I wanted to keep it so I could show it to you today. So what I did, I used the embossing folder Old World, and then I used Whisper White, and then Daffodil Delight, Real Red, and made the card. And then wishing the happiest of birthdays. Now, I put a ribbon over here, and I'm going to show you, explain to you why I did that. You could also, instead of, and I think this ribbon actually is on clearance, so this particular ribbon is not in our annual or mini catalog, but what I could have done is taken a 1/2-inch Daffodil Delight cardstock and run it along the side here. And I needed to have something here because I made a 5x7 card, but our embossing folder isn't as large as this layer here. So let me show you what I did. Okay, so I'm going to bring in our Stampin' Cut and emboss. And then I'm bringing in the layer that I used and the Old World. Now this is a 3D. Okay, so the Old World is 3D, so I will have a different combination when I emboss. So I laid this the long way, and so most of it fits. There's a little bit here, there's a strip that doesn't, okay? So I need to bring in plate 1, and it says using with 3D, you need your plate 1, then I need the embossing, and then plate 4. So I'm going to run this through, because I want to show you. You can see. Don't have a very good way of showing you. Hope you can. Okay, so when I take this out, see how there is a ridge? So what I did is that I took my embossing folder and I just put it back in, just the edge. So I just put it back in like this, and I'm just going to run that through. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of slip this, so I just have that one part that I want to run through, but I can't do it that way because you have to do the ridge. So let me turn it around the correct way. So we're going to put the ridge the right way, and there we go. So I just went on the all right, I'm going to run this through. Okay, now let me move this so we can see better. So I don't know if you can see or not, but there's like a little ridge, okay? So that is why I used, when I layered this on my card, I used the ribbon and ran it around to cover up that ridge, because the embossing folder wasn't large enough. But I could have taken maybe a half inch by however long this is. I can't remember at the moment. But the whole card is 5 by 7. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to share that with you, how you could get around and do a larger embossing if you wanted a larger card, where I did for my son. So this is my son's birthday card that will go out in the mail tomorrow. Don't forget, if you order, put in an order with me this month, make sure you use the host code. If you spend up to $149.99, and you can go to rusticbarncards.com, and there's a place where you can click shop. And then this is the card that we made tonight, Guess Who Loves You, with the little gnomes. I'm going to be making some more cards with this little gnome set. I think it's so cute. Thank you for watching. Quick and easy. And I appreciate you being here, and have a wonderful day.